I'm getting good at this stuff. I'm getting good at doing the buttons.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. Today we are going to have a good time. No, this is not my normal voice, but we were talking about their Christmas special, and so I'm just trying to get in their mood.
How is? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me just let me change my settings. How is it that if you don't like this, it gets us into the Christmas mood? Tell you what.
Because Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
I'm sorry. Now you're gonna have to say that to me one more time.
You don't know about Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas?
I surely, even though I sound like I should, I don't sound like it. I kind of sound a little bit like Mater. I don't have to know where I'm going. I just have to know where I've been.
All right. Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. That is Odie.
Hello.
And it's just us tonight. So on this fine program. Yes. And expect more singing like that throughout the show. On today's show, we are going to talk about some big moves that are happening around the
why are all my settings wrong, Alonzo?
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to talk about some moves that are happening around the building. We are going to talk a little Ahsoka. We're going to throw in some wrestling just because something happens tonight, and I'll be brief on that. Some video games, Nerd Roundtable. By the way, we are preparing. It's usually a couple months ahead of time for the Upstate Pulse annual Christmas karaoke special, and laid down some groundwork today. And I will tell you that I have secured one. Why are we getting echo? What are you doing?
I'm having fun.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, I don't mind a little verb, but you know what I'm saying?
That was edge echo right there.
There we go. So I've secured a guest that hasn't been on this program yet. We've talked about forever. That's going to be doing a song and some other things. All right. If you want to be a part of the show, text line is 71307. If you want to throw a flaccid in front of your text, we would appreciate that just because it bothers the suits.
Not just any flaccid. It has to be a flaccid.
That's right. Put as many C's in there as you need to. But remember, if you put too many C's, that your text may be broken up and that'd be difficult for Odie to read.
Now, C's, not oceans.
Yeah.
Like the Irish Sea, the Chinese Sea. Because like the Atlantic just throws me off completely.
Yeah, that's not a sea. That's
an ocean.
But it's got a C in it. It's OCEA. So I mean, it's that kind of sea that we're talking about.
I can't spell, man. It's I just can't.
It's all right. I will teach you eventually. Also, we're live on the stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and the X. So on
X gonna give it to you.
Either at 989 WORD or at the Upstate Pulse or on my own personal pages, which is Lonzo on Word. And we just added a pages. What page did we just add?
We added a vastly superior page.
Yes. What's it called?
OD_Fitzgerald 989. I have no idea whose page that is, but we added it, and the content that comes onto that page, sometimes you just have to, it makes you just sit back and just kind of go, wow, oh my Lord, that is the most amazing page that I've ever seen. And look how handsome the guy is on the front of it. I need to just look at everything that's on this page.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I thought when we added it.
Yes.
All right, we've already got some messages on the stream. Viper says, are we there yet? Not yet, but we're working on it.
We're...
Chris says, howdy, guys, and I just want to say howdy.
Hello there, Chris.
And Viper says, ain't no hole in the wash bin, but it's ain't no hole in the wash tub. I mean, that's what the song is. Yeah. And Cameron, by the way, let's go ahead and tell you why people who aren't here, where they are. Cameron, one of his buddies is getting married, so he is at the wedding. Hopefully, hopefully bridesmaids are a possibility.
Oh,
to get digits and things like that.
Get the dig. Yeah.
Matthew is in Clemson. I don't know why anyone would want to go there, but he's in Clemson because there's a big Smash Brothers tournament. And that's what's cool about this show. When people miss, I mean, I think Matthew's reason for missing is more legitimate than Cameron's, because he's going to do something pop culture nerdy type thing. And Tim is not gone from the show.
No,
he's just really busy he's running Furman games. There was no Furman game today, but I thought he needed a Saturday off. So I didn't schedule him, but he will be back for the Christmas special. He's looking forward to that. If you don't know what the Christmas special is, I just want to go ahead and tell you about it.
I'm going to go ahead and say that this is just like throwing it out there. Now, this is a really crazy, wild, crazy idea as to what the Christmas special is. But I'm going to say that it's a special, right? Like a special show around Christmas.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Way to go. Way to go.
I mean, come on.
It is the Upstate Pulse annual Christmas karaoke special. We used to put numbers on it, but we've done so many now, I keep losing count. So anyway, we're coming up on near a decade of Upstate Pulse annual Christmas karaoke specials. So when we get to it, it is you give us a song, you give us the voices you want us to use, and we'll try to do it. And we've got some stuff planned too, and we're in the process of planning. It takes a couple months to pull the thing together, and usually it's almost kind of just a little bit entertaining. So looking forward to that.
Whoa.
What?
We need to sing.
Yes.
No, this was
Singing.
never, I can't sing.
Which makes
I sing like a crow.
All right.
Like choking on
but it's
a
okay.
leprechaun.
It's okay because birds aren't real. So
yeah.
so
neither
there's
are
that.
mosquitoes.
Yeah, you're right.
You seen that? I put a post up about mosquitoes not being real.
I did not, but
They're
I'll have to read that
collecting.
now.
They are collecting
DNA. Of course.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter that they've been around since the dinosaurs. They were actually collecting DNA from the dinosaurs for the government back then.
Spared no expense.
I'm saying,
yeah.
Wow, that really fits for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either. All right, so let me tell you, sing a sea shanty. There must be a Christmas one. Hey, dude, we'll have to see if there is one.
I'm very excited.
Hey, Trey, I'm going to turn around real quick.
Don't know why is he turning around.
Can you see it?
No. Yeah, you kind of can. Yeah, there is a killer rabbit on the back of Lonzo's top.
Yes, the bunny. And I like your emojis, by the way. Those are nice.
He's after putting a horse on it.
Yes, yes, that's very good. So on today's show, we're going to do something we haven't done in a while, or maybe ever. I know I've done it on other shows, but not on this one. We're going to get to know the hosts a little bit, just because we have radio stories, and I mean, mine's going to be boring compared to Odie's, but I want to hear it, and we're going to ask each other a couple questions.
Are you referring to the fact that I had an article written about me during the week?
Why, yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Hometown newspaper.
Yeah.
How big is the hometown?
Well, it's not the hometown; it's the home county.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
so it's the whole county, not just the town.
Oh, it's the entire county. It's the Westmead Examiner.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, and it's not only the county; it branches out into the surrounding counties. On the island of Ireland. You know the way Ireland is an island? No,
I do now. So anyway, that's really cool. That really is. How many people would be able to see that? And how big is the county?
The county is the same size, pretty much as Anderson County.
Except probably a bigger population.
No, it's about the same,
okay.
Roughly the same population as Anderson. It's one of the bigger counties.
It's probably prettier than Anderson, though. So no offense, Anderson. It's okay.
See, Anderson has Lake Hartwell. Now I know the Westmead where I come from. Well, it's home. Well, it was home because now America's home. I'm getting confused, but yes, they have their lakes. They have lots of lakes there. There's like loads of lakes in the county. And I know Hartwell or Anderson County has a few lakes as well. Hartwell being the biggest one. But no, it is lovely. Yeah, it is lovely over there. It's greener. There's more cows in the field.
Yes.
Lots of sheep.
Well, the cows here are in Pickens County. So, I mean.
They are.
Yeah, because, they have an ag school up there.
We have sheep.
Yeah. Yes. Lots of sheep.
And llamas and ostriches.
Llamas. I believe. Yeah. All right. So before we get to all that, I just want to tell you some personal news in case you didn't know. I am on an award-winning sports show on our brother station, which is the Fan Upstate. It's not a sister, Magic 98.9. It's not 98.9 because we're not Magic 106.3.
Yes,
that's our sister station. B93.7, that's our sister station. We got sister stations, we got brother stations.
But are they not all sister stations?
No, they're not.
Why?
Classic Rock 101, that's a brother station. 93.3 to Planet Rocks, that's a brother station. Okay.
That's your kind of unhinged brother station.
All right. The Block, that's your brother station. We're all, those are all brothers, and then we got a couple sisters.
But we're putting gender on them.
Yeah. Hey, I do what I want to do. So anyway, our brother station, the fan Upstate, which I have been, known as the Alpha and Omega. Hopefully not the Omega, but I'm definitely one of the Alphas that's helped to start the thing.
You speak Greek?
Yeah,
Wow, man.
I was in a fraternity, man. Because I used to know like the alphabet, the Greek alphabet.
Yeah, it's almost like it starts with Alpha and ends with Omega.
Well, and we were Zeta Phi. Go Rats.
Go Rats.
Anyway, so Rob Brown from the Rob Brown Show, which is very creative. It's like an amalgam, it's like a group, maybe even like a whole Congress of people had to get together to come up with that name, but they did, and they came up with it.
I believe that there was at least 20 people that were used in the picking of it.
Yes, that number that you just said. So anyway,
20.
We are moving to the morning show, and so I'm back on morning radio. I used to be on morning radio here with the Russ Castle show and the Russ and Lisa show and all that. So that was me for 14 years here. So I've been on morning radio. I've been on winning morning radio before. So I'm looking forward to being on the morning over there, and hopefully we can win the morning. How you judge it mostly is what your competition in your genre is.
Yeah.
So we're going 2 mornings to beat any local show that's on and national show that's a sports show in this area. We're going to do that. We're going to win that.
Beat them with a big stick.
We are the best show in the state of South Carolina, according to the South Carolina Broadcasters Association, and that's historic, and it's like in the archives. So that makes it real.
Did you win an award?
I did.
Did you?
Won a couple.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, won a couple. I've won quite a few awards here. Which we're going to talk about a little bit when we talk about our journey in radio. So if you are a fan of the Rob Brown Show, or if you've never checked it out before, on your way to work, if you want to, hop over there and check it out and get the latest sports scores and get some crazy zaniness and that kind of stuff, please check it out. Looking forward to moving the mornings, and hopefully we can do what we plan to do and dominate and going to be fun. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about our stories, our radio stories. It doesn't have to be like the history of us, although our histories are kind of interesting, I think. But if you've ever wanted to ask one of us a question about our radio journey, go ahead and we will try to answer them. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
That's such a floaty light.
Yeah,
I like it.
I showed you where the music was, right? If you wanted to pick some new stuff.
I forgot where it is, but I know where it is.
You can get to it through Odyssey at work if you want to. It's Alpha
Labs. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah.
You just got to make sure it's whitelisted.
Mm-hmm. I actually pulled a couple of animal noises.
Yeah, sorry to hear about that, Chris. I know a bunch of the people over there.
Yeah. That was, yeah.
Unfortunately, that's something that happens in radio. And we're going to talk about, when we talk about my radio journey a little bit, we'll talk about a radio station, the first radio station I worked at, and how it went away. And because of that, I am here. So. So I figure a lot of people will be watching the Gamecocks tonight. So at least I get you for a few more minutes. Thank you, Trey. We will do our best. This is going to be the same old crap except earlier. But, The main thing is to have fun, try to be entertaining, and if you can't be entertaining, be as stupid as possible. So,
that's worked for me for 42 years.
Because if you can go, man, that was stupid. I feel smart after listening to that. And all I can say is thank you. Thank you for being so stupid. And all I can say is you're welcome.
Yes, it is.
It is award-winning crap.
Guys, the writers are celebrating claiming the studios caved to their demands, but the studios are going to be drastically cutting back on productions, so the writers are voluntarily out of work.
Yeah, Action Jackson used to work here for a while. He worked for Magic for a lot of years. And yes, he and I have always been on good terms. Not hugging terms, because I don't really do that.
Hugging.
Yeah, I've probably only hugged like one person in this building. So
Not me. Not me. No.
you know what we're gonna do, Trey? And this is amazing. This has never been done before. We're gonna be live during that hour, and we're gonna like do content.
Content?
Yes, we're not gonna play a pre-recorded interview. We're actually going to talk for 3 segments, and it might even sing in it. I don't know, but for that 4th hour, that's what we're going to do. And that's the overlap. So that 9 to 10 o'clock is when we normally would have started. So there'll be some people that will think nothing's going on, and we'll have to reinform them that, hey, this is our last hour, not our first hour.
Sorry, I'm just still giggling about the little dig. But,
yeah, well, it wasn't a little dig. It was full on.
Full on dig.
Yeah, it was a large shovel.
Big spade, big shovel.
Yes.
Pickaxe and everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, what was
the hole diggers.
Yeah. No, actually, I was thinking of the. No. That was the post hole diggers. I was
hole diggers. Yeah.
I was thinking of the mechanized.
Oh, an auger.
Not enough, but the auger works though. Yeah. I know what those are too.
Let's do some radio stuff.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Hey man, I hear the Han Solos talking. Don't you come at me, bro.
I won't come at you, bro. They can't. Why is that not? Oh, it is. What?
Music. Why is there music?
It's not up that high. I'm just
saying. I'm just, I'm not going to.
The reason it's up is what headphone have I got on? I've got the bad one on my ear, so I messed up and I should have put.
Okay, well,
that music is loud.
No, I'm not gonna noob you on that, but I just want to say that you were interrupting the best band in all of the galaxy.
The Cantina band.
Yes, and
I've seen them live.
Yeah, you probably have. Yeah, you probably have. So anyway, welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo and Odie here for the first time. Just the two of us together on the show. The other guys are off on assignment. Yeah, they're off on assignment. Yeah, because that's what you usually say when people are not here. They're not suspended. They're on assignment.
See, no, why would you say that? Because now everybody's gonna. Oh, what did they do? Why did they get suspended?
Well, I think if you listened to last week, maybe you know why.
Why? What happened last week?
Well, go back and listen to it, on the Odyssey app, which is free. You can download the Odyssey app and go back and listen to the podcast, or you can check it out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or the X. Go back and watch the video and see if you can figure out what specifically might make people be on assignment.
Yeah, I'm confused. Deeply confused.
There's nothing there, Odie.
I didn't think there was.
Trying to get them to listen.
Oh yeah. Do you remember that thing that happened that was really funny?
It's too late now,
and it was just kind of, it was out there, and when the aliens landed and having the conversation with us, is it too far?
Yeah, it was an amazing thing. So that's how that worked. That was kind of a radio story. And speaking of radio stories,
look at the link.
Yeah, it's here in America. It's called a Segway, but that's fine.
I tried to get on one of them. I fell off.
Yeah. I've always wanted to try one of those.
No, you don't.
No, I got pretty good balance. I think I could still ride a skateboard at 55. So I think I could ride a Segway.
I kind of want to see that.
What, dude? If Weird Al can do it, I can do it. I mean, come on. Weird Al's older than me.
Yeah, but he's white and nerdy.
Yeah, he is, and so am I.
Oh, okay.
And our hair is about the same length. I mean, I am heavier, but still, I think I could do that.
Okay.
They have, some places have like Segway tours where you can get on a Segway and tour.
That's where I fell off.
Is it?
No, I kind of snorted, but will I tell the story?
Well, you already started now.
It was in London. There was a lot of libations, i.e. Guinnesses, drank. And then we decided.
Were you on a crawl or something?
Yeah, a little bit. We were on a bachelor party.
Okay.
And then we decided the best thing in the world for us to do was to go on a Segway. I'm sorry.
That makes
The
sense
best
to
thing
me.
was
I
to
mean,
go on a Segway
yeah.
tour when we couldn't stand, let alone balance.
Well, could you have gotten DUIs for being on a Segway?
Probably.
Yeah, because I mean,
Operating motorized vehicles.
if you can get it for being on a horse or a lawnmower, why not a Segway?
So you know the roundabout at Buckingham Palace.
Yes.
We went around that.
How many times?
Lots.
Yeah. Did you do it so much that you threw up? Okay.
A little bit. And the tour guide was like giving out to us. And he's like, guys, all right, lads, you can't do that. You can't go around there. That's the Queen lives in there, mate. You can't go around there on a Segway. And we're like, of course we can. Yeah. Oh, so many drunken stories. Maybe there's a reason I don't drink anymore.
Yeah, that's probably a good one. Although it probably would have been a lot of fun to watch, at least the look on that guy's face when he's trying to make you stop.
Yeah.
All right. So gather your questions. We're not answering them yet, but text line 71307 or Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or the X. Let's start with my radio story, the boring one. So I was born in the state of Ohio in 1960. No, we're not going back that far. So,
I was going to play music.
No. Got married. Been married coming up on 31 years, by the way. And was looking for many jobs because every job I worked at went out of business. It wasn't like, I got let go. I mean, like the business doesn't exist anymore. They just like dissolved the business. So I started thinking, I could be bad if I believed in luck.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to hire me because everywhere I work, it goes out of business. So there was a program in Ohio where you could pick, they would send you to school for free if it's a growing business. And growing, whatever it was, as long as you could prove that it's something that would flourish and you could possibly make money in it. So I seen an ad in the back of a CCM magazine, which is a Christian music magazine, for a place called the Recording Workshop in Chillicothe, Ohio. So went up and visited the thing. Was like, okay, this sounds pretty cool. So let's do this. So I went there and it was a 3-month course and basically a trade school, but it was for recording bands and things like that. But it was like 12 to 14 hours a day. So the first day you were there, we were recording bands. So it wasn't like you led up into, you just jumped right into it. Mm-hmm. And what they did is they had, they would have local bands come in and record projects for them for free, which is also a good move.
Yes,
you come in, because studio time then was expensive. It's outrageous now. Mm-hmm. So learn how to do all that. We covered radio for like a half hour one day and we put together commercials and that was it.
Yeah.
And so had a chance to move to South Carolina. I couldn't get a job in Ohio because of the shyness thing got in the way. And so I had a hard time getting in places. If I could have got in there, I think I would have been able to get a job. And there were some studios. I got to intern at a Christian record label for a while, which was kind of cool, and things like that. And then my aunt decided to move here. And when she moved here, she offered us some land as an early inheritance. And I had never lived anywhere else. And it's like, you know what? Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
And at the time, my wife was making really good money. She was working for the state, and then her job was going away. It's like, okay, this is a sign. We're out of here. So we came here, started working at this guy's personal studio for a little while, but he decided that I wasn't good enough, which is fine. And he was probably right. And my wife was going to Account Temps downtown Greenville and asked me to go with her. And I was like, okay, I'll go with her. And there was a radio station right down the hall from it. And I just happened to have a resume with me. And I'm like, okay, why not? Yeah. And I walked into it, and it was a radio station called 98.1 The Peak, which is now Hot 98.9. Mm-hmm. But 98.1, I'm sorry. 98.1 The Peak. And walked in there, and out comes a guy who looks like a farmer. And I'm like, okay. And flaming red hair, farmer.
Irish.
Plaid. No, just a farmer. And you might recognize him when I tell you who it is, because he works here now. But he at the time, he looked at my resume and he's like, here's what I want you to do. I really need some help, but I want you to listen to this station and decide if you want to work here, because it was kind of racy. And the only really thing on my resume that I could say I had done sound wise was church.
Yeah.
So went home, listened to it, and went, I don't care how bad it is, I need a job.
Yep.
So I came back in, and that guy who was the operations manager is now the news director here at Lee Rogers. So if you've seen him, his hair is white now. It wasn't then.
No,
it was not.
Yeah.
He also introduced me to grits, which I've had something against them since then because grits are nasty.
Yes,
but anyway, so started working there, worked my way to the morning show there, and then the owner there had said he would never sell unless someone put a check on his desk that was bigger than anything he'd ever seen, and someone did.
But that happens.
Yeah, and so what they decided to do is they sold us to 2 different places, and then that second place decided, you know what, we're flipping the station. So when you flip a station, you change the format. So we were out on our ear, but there was a place in this area in Greenville that did traffic. When I'm talking about traffic, I'm talking about traffic reports.
Yeah.
And they would sell those reports to other stations.
Yeah.
So there were a couple people in the traffic that I had talked to a bunch while working there who said, hey, why don't you come over to WORD and I'll put in a good word for you. One of them was Stacy Bartrow, who was with Earth, I believe, but she worked here a couple times. And the other one was Ann Robards, who used to do news here. So they both said, come over here. So I did. And I've been here for 23 and a half years. So that worked out really good. But I started in the afternoons and had no idea what I was doing really. Had a program director who would run from the bottom of the stairs all the way up to stand over me when I would make a mistake and ask me why I did that. And the thing is, I got trained. The guy who was training me quit. And so he left me notes. So I had to learn an entire new system. I was running a live show off of notes. And some of them I couldn't read because he didn't. It was kind of scribbly.
Yeah.
So it's a shock that I just kept going, but I really was starting to enjoy it. I met Hawk and Tom for the first time. They were intimidated by me. They didn't want to, because I was a big guy and I kept taking their production studio. and this was before there were assignments. Then afterwards there started being assignments thanks to me. Cause I would just go, hey, this is open. I'm going in there. And there's a hierarchy and the big stars, if it's their room, it's their room. And I didn't know that. But then they come in and started talking to me and found out that I'm all right. And then we had some fun with that. They had Heidi, who was their morning news person at the time, convinced that my name was Gonzo. And I will tell you that Tom had a favorite stall in the bathroom that he would do at the same time every day. And Hawk convinced me to do stuff to him every day, which I did.
Yeah.
So, and so I started out with Ralph Bristol, and 2 biggest memories from the Ralph Bristol show was Dick Harpootlian, who, if you follow the big trial last year, the murder trial, Harpootlian's the lawyer there. He wasn't at the time. He was, I believe, a senator. And I called, Ralph wanted to have him on for something. I called him, and his secretary said he has laryngitis. I'm like, okay. And she said, but I'll let him talk to you. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he starts talking to me, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get you on. He's like, I have laryngitis. I was like, well, I can understand you. I'll just go ahead and put you on the air. And then he started yelling at me. And the last thing he said is, are you on crack? And he hung up on me. So that was the first politician that I ever talked to, which was amazing, because every time I see him or hear of him, I can hear him in my mind asking me if I'm on crack. And then the second thing that I remember from the Ralph Bristol show is he dared me to eat haggis.
Haggis is nice.
Live at Fall for Greenville.
I remember. Yeah, you were telling me that.
Which I did. And we had a guy come down and cook it live, but he didn't tell us that it was en flambe.
Oh, flambe.
And he caught it on fire, and a wall of fire shot up to the roof of the tent and just like billowed out. And we thought we were going to die. And then after I ate the haggis, I thought I was going to die. So then I kept moving my way down till I ended up being on the Russ Castle show. Was there for 14 years, which was a lot of fun, and I hated it and I loved it. And Russ and I ended up in the office a couple of times over stuff because we were alphas, and that's fine. And then started moving my way to other stuff. Had a lot of fun doing the Vince Coakley show. I know some people didn't like Vince, but Vince is still a great friend and had a blast with him. He is the one host that I've ever worked with that I never got in an argument with that was heated. I mean, even I mean, Rob and I will go at it some. It's mostly in jest.
Yeah.
But I never did that with Vince. Didn't have to. And I would do anything I could to make him laugh because he's the best laugh in the entire business. And then the Fan, which was ESPN Upstate at the time, was getting ready to get started. And I saw a shot to be at the beginning of a station and get to see how a station was born, how the imaging is done, how all that kind of stuff is done. And now there's no one at WORD who's been here longer than me. And I've been there from the beginning on the Fan Upstate. So, and there's only 3 other people in this building who's been here longer than me. And that's Hawk, Tom, and Cato. So I have been here for a really long time. I've had a lot. So that's just a little bit of my radio story. If you want to ask me questions, that's fine, including Odie, if Odie wants to ask me questions. There's a question you asked me off the air. You asked what my best interview was.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite interview. And I would tell you my favorite interview is a tie. And it's, well, no, I can't. Dude, I've had so many fun interviews. A bunch of wrestlers that you've never heard of before. Mm-hmm. I've just about everybody on TV. If I watch wrestling, I've talked to that person. I've talked to that person. That is so cool. Have you heard of Booker T before?
Yes.
Okay, so I interviewed him. Road Warrior Animal, I've interviewed him. I didn't know if you knew the Road Warriors back in the day.
Yeah, no.
Okay, The Big Show.
And yeah.
I've interviewed him. So I'm just thinking of some big names, but I've also interviewed a bunch of the
Bushwhackers.
No. Oh, I'd love to, but one of them I think one
of them passed away. Yeah, or maybe 2.
Yeah. So I had fun with. I know. All right, we'll take a break.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about me, and then the stories that everyone really wants to hear is Odie's stories, because his interviews are much better and bigger time than mine. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Yes, Lisa, my friend Charlotte Flair, you're right. You know Ric Flair?
I know Ric Flair.
It's his daughter. She is like the best women's wrestler of all time.
Ding, 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 ding. Now the News Talk 98.9 WRD there.
Okay, there are some questions, and I will get to those, especially Chris has some stuff. So for both of us.
Yes, I did.
Of course you did. Why are you here?
Because I love it here.
That's going to be the question. That is the question that T2 and I have asked many times. Why in the world is he here?
Irish Mafia. What?
Yes. It's the Billy Joel song.
Don't break my heart.
No, not that one.
Achy.
No, that's a Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy.
Yeah. I think Billy Joel would whip your butt for that.
I'm blurry. Hold on. I'll try and get back into focus.
Did that work?
No.
No, it looked like you're trying to release gas, not try to get in focus.
No, I don't. I don't know, Christopher. Did you? I know he went to say, did you? But he said, did I? Yeah. Messed that one up.
Trey, it's something. I mean, it's touching a board.
Yes, it is.
I have more experience actually from the school though, because like I said, 12 hours or more per day for 3 months, 5 to 6 days a week. You really, really on that board.
Well, I learned the board in theater. That's like I was young, like young,
Mm-hmm.
really young, and that's where I learned the board.
No, Mark, I have not. I have to check it out though.
Castlevania. Oh, that's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Started watching Band of Brothers. Crying quite a bit.
That's pretty old though.
It's pretty old, but it's hardcore.
Yeah. I try to not watch things that actually happened or could actually happen.
Still out of focus. Oh, there I am. I'm focused.
Maybe if you like open the blinds. It's like dark outside now. I'm just saying.
No.
I feel confined. I like looking at that beautiful skyline. Look at that. It's dark now. See? You're not going to get any glare. If you do, it'd be from the lights outside.
I can actually turn.
Ooh. Just a wee bit. Look at that. And my glare's still there. Oh, now it's like a single glare. It's like, right. Ooh, I could do that, and then the glare goes away, and then we can, yeah. Then you can see how big my forehead is.
It's not a big forehead, it's a solar panel.
Father Christmas, give us some money. Do you know the Father Christmas song?
I think I do.
Give all your toys for the pretty rich boys. I think they're pretty rich boys. I don't know. It could be ugly rich boys. I don't know.
Could be. It's actually a lovely sky over there.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't see it because you've got a poster in the way.
It's all right. It's a beautiful poster.
It is a beautiful poster.
It's the old one. I got to get the new ones made, but it costs money.
It's Christmas time.
I have to do that on my own. Ooh, I can't wait to talk about a thing I did today.
You did a thing?
I did a thing. I didn't buy it, but I can we can all do it, including you. It's on the list. But you wouldn't recognize what it is, so it's pop yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Why are you hitting yourself?
Or like
why is there so much stuff on this desk?
That's a good question. How many breaks we got left? 1 or 2? Just 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's my fault. I asked you a question, so I mean, you know.
Yeah, but you can talk without me doing the
No,
thing.
I was waiting for the music.
Music is there.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No. Okay. All right. Fine. I'm being very lenient tonight. You know, very, very lenient.
No,
we're gonna talk about that,
what?
Mark.
No,
I mean,
no.
Fine.
I wouldn't have you talking.
Okay. All right. Got that out of the way. Cool.
Feel better now.
All right. So anyway, my favorite interviews are all the wrestling interviews, but the couple that you might know of is David Naughton, who was the from American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
The remake. I got to talk to him, and not only did I talk to him, but I reminded him of Hot Dog the movie, which he was in. And he told us that most of the people in that movie didn't know how to ski, which I thought was hilarious. And a show called Making It, which he did. And he was the original I drink Dr. Pepper, don't you know? That was him. Yeah, so he was in a lot of stuff. And when I went to meet him, he thanked me for being an actual fan. He said, I could tell that because you knew all this stuff and I knew you weren't reading it. And you're just like, you're welcome. And then Chris Rager and Josh Martin. I call him Rager Rager because I couldn't remember how to say his name, and he wouldn't tell me exactly while I was talking to him. And they are the voice of Majin Buu and Hercule from Dragon Ball Z and a bunch of other anime stuff. And that's the first interview that Cameron was here, but it's the first interview that I had to lead. I'd always had Chris here with me, and Chris was gone to engineering. Yeah. And it was the first time that I got to do that. And it was also the first interview on StreamYard that I did. And I mean, it's so cool to not only get to talk to, but let my child, who, as he was growing up, watched all these cartoons, got to sit there with me, and we got to talk to those guys. That was really, really cool. All right, a couple of questions on the stream, a ton of questions, and we are going to get to Odie's stuff
eventually.
Yes. Well, next, let's see.
Oh, just on the flaccid text line 443. Love your show, guys. Look forward to it absolutely every Saturday. And another one is, they're talking about the writer's strike, which we probably will talk about in the second hour.
Yes, we will.
But yeah.
All right. Let's see. Chris wants to know, how did Russ Caswell affect your career? Well, he taught me a lot of good things and bad things. So, I mean, for one thing, he helped me, the whole iron sharpens iron thing. He didn't make me a smart aleck. I was already that. Trust me. Ask my mom.
Yeah, but I guarantee he helped you pull it out.
All the beatings that I got as a kid because I couldn't keep my smart mouth shut. All the times I got in trouble in class because it's not I didn't talk in class a whole lot, but the underneath stuff, mm-hmm. I don't know if you noticed I do that, but yeah, I did that and that got me in trouble in class. But the thing was, the teachers laughed. So I didn't really get in that much trouble. And Cameron did the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just, and my daughter's worse than either one of us. But yeah, he taught me a lot of stuff. And he would do a lot of things. And then when we weren't on a stream or anything like that. So we get done with the segment and he would hit the intercom button and say, "Did you learn anything?" He would do that every once in a while. And I would say, "Yes, I did. Yes, I did." And anyway, again, we didn't always get along. There were times that there were problems where I just wanted that they talked about moving me off the show and asked me. And I was like, "No, I want to stay with him." Part of it was because of the schedule, because I was able to be at every one of my kids' events. But the other part was I was learning and having fun. And I remember when I lost all the weight, before I lost it, he came to me and he's like, "Listen, you're wasting time. You know, you don't have the discipline. You know, you can't do this. And, you need to let someone else do the account because you just don't embarrass yourself." And he knew what he was doing. Oh, I was so mad. I'm still mad just talking about it.
I know,
and every time
you're getting red over there.
I would get on that treadmill and I'm like, I will show him. I will show him. And then months later he comes in and says, "Hey, Skinny, how you doing?" It's like, oh, you got me. You got me.
Oh,
because he knew me well enough to know what motivated me.
He knew.
And because that same sort of thing motivated him. So, and the people who are motivated by that sort of thing, there are a lot more than you think.
Mm-hmm.
And you know them when you recognize them. There might be another one of those in the room right now. So it just, so yeah, I did learn a lot of things. Odie, Chris wants to know if you ever worked for the BBC or the Irish equivalent. First, is there an Irish equivalent of the BBC?
Yeah, it's RT, it's Radio Television. It's radio television of Ireland.
All right.
Yeah, and it's I did, yeah, I done a little bit of stuff for those. They got me to do some vox pops and kind of smaller stuff.
Did you say box tops?
Vox populators.
Okay, what are those?
It's when you go out in the street and you shove a microphone into someone's face.
Oh, you're a man on the street.
Yeah, I've done
cool.
that. I've done a little bit of that. Do you want me to start at the start?
Yeah, but you know what? You can't do it because we got to go to break.
We do have to go to break.
You can do it on the other side of the break.
I'll do it on the other side.
You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
See, that was flawless. See there, I just grabbed something. I was like,
I saw what you were doing and I covered for you.
Otherwise, it would have played number 1 on 2. And then if I fire,
you still play.
If I fire from the card, if I fire in number 2, and will it just stay in auto and keep going then?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it will only play what the next card is. I don't do it that way.
Yeah.
I've had to before when things went bad.
Yes.
That's how some of the other guys run it. And I think that's just asking for a mistake.
Yeah.
But, I'm old school. I like knowing things are going to stop where I want them to stop. Yeah, Mark, Jade Cargill going to WWE, they're going to make her a superstar. She's already a star. They're going to make her a superstar. And she needs to go up against Nia Jax. She needs to go up against Rhea Ripley. But the first person she's going to go up against is probably going to be Bayley. Unless she spends some time in NXT because she was underdeveloped in AEW, and she's talked about it in interviews about how they didn't really teach her. They never even taught her how to do a chair shot. They just told her to go out and do it. And there's a way to do a chair shot to where you don't really hurt the person. I mean, it's still going to hurt, but you don't want to maim somebody. So and if you've seen her, she can maim somebody. I mean, this is a person with 0% fat and has 12 abs.
Yeah.
She's like that. You should look up Jade Cargill to see what she looks like. I mean, they did not use her the way that WWE will. And if she stays healthy and doesn't get hurt, if she spends any time in NXT.
Jade Cargill or Jay Cargill?
Jade.
Jade.
Yes. I don't enunciate really well. Just look up Jade Cargill picture.
Oh, Cargill.
Again. Sorry. Gosh.
I've got sound coming at me.
Yeah, I know. 2 things at once, man. You're a producer. That's what you do. Hey, look, beavers.
Yep. Yes, there is. Oh yeah, they're over here as well.
Did you find a picture of her?
The Lord Lantern Divine Intervention.
You can look at her safe search. I don't know that she has anything bad in there.
No, it's
just she. If you
She's
think
just
of
a muscle.
Yeah, if you think of Muscle Magazine, that would be her. Yeah, she's but she has personality to go with it. She has ability that hasn't been honed and tempered the way it needs to be, and that's what WWE does. They're really good at developing the wrestling aspect and the star part.
Dave, always turn off your safe search unless your kids are looking at it. I mean, you might see stuff you want to see. I don't know.
No, man. No, you're good. You're good. Dave, that's a good question. I haven't, but I've been with. I've been with someone who didn't want to interview people, and that was interesting.
No, I've interviewed people I did not want to interview.
Yeah, I mean, we've been asked to interview when the riots were going on here. We had to do some interviews with some people who were live where it was. And the reason why I didn't really want to do it was because it doesn't fit the show.
Yeah.
But downstairs said we're doing it. So we say, yes, sir. Other than that, can't really think of anybody I'm like, there are people afterwards, like Jay Billis Jay Billis was a punk. So is Keyshawn. Those guys were, because if you're a jerk towards the host, whether I like the host or not, I got a problem with that. Welcome back into Odie time. It's Odie time. We're going to hear that Odie story.
Why is that? Oh, yeah, because that's right.
We're going to hear the Odie story and how Odie got into radio and his best interviews, which I already know, like some of them, and I don't know how they could be any better than the ones that I know of.
I think you know the best ones. I think you know the best ones.
Well, again, that may not be your favorite though. All right. So how did Odie get started in radio?
So I got started in radio twice, if that makes sense. I got started into it when I was 15 or 16. There was a local radio station, and I was just hanging around. I was I won't say I was hanging around in the studio, but it was inside in a shopping center. It was
so were you like staring in the window, putting your face up against the glass type of thing?
Kinda.
Okay.
And one of the presenters felt sorry for me and came out and he said, "You want to see inside? Do you want to see what this looks like?" I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I came in and he was showing me the desk and he was showing me all the buttons, and he done the thing of, "All right, what I want you to do is," like, they were in an ad break, and he said, "What I want you to do is I want you to push that fader up." And I was like, "Okay." And I pushed up the fader and he goes, "And you're very welcome back to Midlands 103. This is," and he just done the thing, and I was like, "Oh." And it was then I was hooked. And now I was only 14 or 15. And he said to me, "I need some Vox Pops. Send me out." And in Ireland, you can do that. You can work.
All right, it's man on the street interviews.
Man on the street.
So what? They don't have child labor laws there?
They do, but you're allowed to work.
This is like
from 14.
Apprenticeship or something like that?
Kind of.
Okay. All right.
You can, like, you're not getting paid for it. It's not an internship, but you're not getting paid for it. And it's not hard work. They'll just send you on the street and just get the word off the man on the street and all that kind of stuff. And that was the first one. But then I kind of fell out of it, I found out what girls were, and, I didn't think that radio was all that cool. And my family pushed me away from it a little bit as well. They were like, "Oh, don't do that. You need to get a real job. And this is what I love." But so then I went to college. Went to college in a city called Galway. Now, people have probably heard of Galway. And there was a college radio called Flirt 103.3.
Wait, Flirt?
Flirt FM.
Okay, FLIRT?
FLIRT. It was a college radio.
Okay.
And I went into that. There was a friend. I wasn't in the college that college radio was in. I was doing an apprenticeship, and that's how all that came about. But a friend of mine was, and he was the guy that done all the branding. So he put all the names and stuff onto the songs and whatever. It was a music station, and they used to do stuff like interviews, and they'd have the movie guy and all that kind of stuff. So I was over at his house one evening. He said, "I got to go to work." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Do you want me to drop you?" Because I had a car. And he said, "Yeah, but do you know what?" He said, "Do you want to come in? Do you want to come into the station?" I was like, "Yeah." So I went into the station, and lo and behold, he was presenting the show, and halfway through it, he just turned on my microphone and he said, "Talk." So we just started talking about this, that, and stuff. And about 4 weeks later, the guy that ran the station, he came over to me and he said, because I was going in with the dude every night. Every night he was going in, just sitting there, you know, kind of looking at the place. And the guy that owned the station, he said, I need a movie guy. My movie guy called out, and you're it. And I was like, okay, what movie are we talking about? And he gave me the script, or not the script. He gave me it was pretty much a script. He knew exactly what he wanted me to say for Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
And
All right.
yeah, and that was the very first one. And went from there. I
real quick, FCC laws over there, are they a little more lenient? I know it's not the FCC.
It's
if it's I'm asking
IMRO.
because it's Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Or are you able to talk?
So we have a thing called a watershed.
Okay.
Watershed starts at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
After 9 o'clock, you can say absolutely any word on air.
Okay.
On radio or TV. TV, it's 10 o'clock. Radio, it's 9 o'clock. You can say pretty much anything you want. And we did. And we used it. And when I went on to commercial radio, then it was a big thing where, you know, it's not that we weren't allowed to do it. It was just frowned upon. So I left college radio because, you know, I timed out. You could only stay there for 4 years. And I had been there for 4 years. And I went on to community radio. I was on ACR 88.4. And I had 3 shows there. I had the Thursday night, Friday night, and the Saturday morning shows. Saturday morning was a chart show. It was just doing bits and pieces. And we used to do the phony phone calls, which I know is kind of, you can't do them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I went on to, and that was community. So it's kind of local, not local radio, but.
This is like public access to
public access radio.
All
Yeah,
right.
public access radio. And I got poached from there. Not really that you can get poached because you're doing it for little to no money. I got poached from there to go on to Midlands 103. That was a local station, pretty big local station, and started learning how to do outside broadcasts. And I was the guy that used to drive the van to go do the OBs, and started interviewing people then for different shows, for different guests, different whatever, and started filling in for guys then, started getting on the right side of the microphone. And it was a big challenge to go from the guy that was doing the little spots here and there to going to do a full hour, 2 hours. Now I know they're all music shows, so it was I won't say it was hard, but you know, you didn't like talk radio. People don't realize that talk radio, it's not easy to do.
No, it's
because not. You don't have the time to just sit back and relax. You don't have the time. You don't have the 4 minutes or the 6 minutes between songs. You don't have any of that kind of stuff.
So even right now, while Odie's talking, he's got to pay attention to the clock and know when it's time to to play the music bit. So it's not easy to do, and it's really hard to do if you are actually talking and producing at the same time.
Yeah, and I think that's something that people don't understand is when you're talking and producing, you're doing the 2-person job.
Right.
And something is probably going to go wrong.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is you can't put your all into one or the other.
No.
So you have to find that balance in there, and hopefully people won't notice.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to continue with this, and we got other stuff to talk about, but I just find this really interesting. I hope you do too. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk at 98.9 WORD, the voice of these here Carolinas. I'm gonna get to your questions, Trey, because I think those are good questions. We'll get to those on the other side, and then we'll get to some other stuff. And if you didn't know, South Carolina's losing 7-3. They had a pretty good drive against Tennessee, and it stalled like about the 12 maybe. Probably the worst part about playing in a stadium is going to be how many times Rocky Top plays. If you can have it limited to play like once or twice, then you're probably going to win the game.
If you don't time out, Fox comes in anyway, no matter what. The workflow changes over.
Well, if you don't turn it up, it won't come.
No. But like, if you time out, the workflow kicks in anyway.
Yeah. I mean, they start at the time that they start every single time. Okay. They're not waiting on you to go.
No. Okay. So maybe at the end of the show, you know, the way it kicks into what
it will do, it will fade whatever you're playing to go into that. There's a command that makes it fade. So if the ID is late, it will fade the ID. It is what. All right, Trey. I'm going to answer this on and off the air. One of the worst parts of radio, especially being a producer, is when the powers that be decide to put a break leading into the top of the hour, and you have to time it. So there's a lot of math involved, and with our current system, it doesn't round up or round down. It keeps half seconds.
Yep.
So you may think you've got a time completely right, and then by the end of it, there'll be like a second or two of that will pop in there and will cause it to look like you didn't know how to do math, and then the thing will fade.
Yep.
And it happens to me a lot on the fan, and the half seconds get you every time.
Yes,
our old system didn't do that. And we've went through like 3 different systems since we've been here. The worst system was a system called the Phantom. Back when I first started 23 and a half years ago, Phantom, you had to input everything. There was no fill. So I would have to, after doing Ralph Bristol, I would have to program the entire next day. And on Fridays, it was horrible because you had to do Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
That's just a little view of all the buttons we get to look at all the time. All the stuff. Those 2 over here, these 2 here, that's me there, and that's Lonzo. This one here is what you're hearing now. Well, you're not hearing it on the stream, but that's it. This one here and this one here is over here. You see, you've got two little carts over here, so we got to pay attention to those. You can see the one that's there is the one that I have lined up ready to play, and this is what's playing now. This is the stuff that's going out live. So we got to keep an eye on everything here, everything over here, stuff over here, and I got to pay attention to this guy over here. So that's kind of everything that a producer does, and we have to talk, answer the phone, answer the text messages, everything. There's lots to do.
You switched out your cool edit?
Huh?
Have you switched out your cool edit? You got your cool edit going for the second hour? We also are a team and try to help each other. And yes, as we're talking and doing all this stuff, I'm watching the Gamecock game because I've been doing that for years. I missed the interception, though. I know there was an interception, and South Carolina got the ball back. I'm recording it, though, so I can watch it back later so I can talk about it Monday on the Rob Brown Morning Show. It is a lot, Trey. When I've trained some people, and you can see the look in their eyes, like, and I'm like, listen, dude, please don't quit. It's not, you'll get it. And there's even more stuff to do when you're live on stream, which we are, if you're the one who has to control it. And some hosts can't do it, other ones can. So it's better when everyone knows how to do it and will help each other out.
Yeah, it is a lot. But Trey, so we know what you do for a living. And if we were to look at what you do, we'd be like, that's a lot. But it's kind of the thing that you get so used to doing it, you just do it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I'm not taken from what we do, but it's the kind of thing that you just get easy. It gets easier.
There have been times, especially back during the Russ Castle days, where the phones would be going nuts, be doing a bunch of other stuff, and he would ask me a question while I'm doing all that, jump on the air, hit that, jump back to the phones, do all that kind of stuff. I've been on shows with nonstop phones. As soon as one person hangs up, then you got another one.
And you're trying to answer the phones. You're trying to do everything else. Oh, I need to start that show. If I'm producing for one of the other guys, and they'll talk about something really, really interesting, and then the phones explode and the text lines explode and everything goes nuts. Like we get a lot of phone calls and a lot of texts anyway, but it's just when everything all happens at the one time, it's just kind of like, and then you got to get ready to fire ads. You got ready to do stuff, and you got to come back in here and remember that you need to put that back on.
I remember one of the coolest things is we used to be on Rutherford, and then we came into this building. Is walking into this building before word went on the air for the first time in this building, and just looking at everything lit up in a dark room and thinking, that is cool, but I have to run that. And no one taught us how to do that. because we got a new system and we didn't get training. So I had to figure it out on the fly with the hosts in the room because the studios weren't done yet.
That is one of the things when you see a new board first, it just kind of.
You should go into the Planet and see that board. The board, it's fully programmable. The ones that we're going to get.
Oh, I must take a look.
Yeah, it's probably closed, but if it's not, we'll look.
Yeah.
Welcome into hour number 2 of the Upstate Pulse. Used to be the third hour, Nerd Hour. It is now just hour number 2. But I will tell you, I'm going to talk to LexCorp. But there was something that I and Rob Brown wanted really bad, and we got it. We're going to be moving to the morning show starting Monday on the Fan Upstate. That was the first, and I didn't want to ask for 2 things in 1 week because that could it's usually okay. I gave you this. Why do you keep asking for stuff? So I didn't want to do that. So, but we are going to get to that. Right now, we're getting to know Odie and myself.
Yeah.
And we got a bunch of questions. Well, we have text. Text line is 71307. By the way, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and the X at either 98.9 WORD or the Upstate Pulse.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the messages, some of the text. On the text line, 090 says, please ask Odie if Ireland has any radio stations like WORD where conservative views are aired. Yes, we do. We have lots of stations like that. Pretty much whatever we have here in America, there's pretty much the same. They're not specifically conservative views. They'll take all the different views and collaborate them together. What has we got here? Tell me you starved to death for years without telling me you worked on college radio. You see, I worked on college radio, but I was an apprentice. See, I really wasn't even supposed to be in.
Yeah, he was doing engineering. He was learning engineering while he was doing that.
I was doing a tooling apprenticeship. So I was being paid to do that. And then at nighttime, I was going into the radio station.
By the way, Odie has a real job, a real job.
What, I mean, this is a real job.
Yeah, but that's not what I mean. A job that I'm guessing actually pays money.
I work. I just do this for love and cuddles.
Not my love or my cuddles. I just want to point that out. But at least not yet. Wait till about a year.
Yeah, maybe a year. We'll get into the year. So where was I? Was on the local station. I was working on a local station, Midlands 103, and I was getting more shows and more shows and more shows, and I was filling in for more people. And then I finally got the chance to do my own show, kind of my own show. It was a nighttime show. It was a pre-record. I don't like doing them, but it's just the guy wanted to make sure that everything was right. He didn't trust us live. That's just the way it was. Some guys don't trust people live, and we pre-recorded. So you do your links like between your songs, we call it a link, and you link from one song to the next song. It'd be something like that was Paddy and the Haymakers and their song I Love Making Hay, and coming up in the next hour.
Is that like an actual thing?
Probably. I don't know.
Okay, I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Is it really?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, it
sounded good.
All right, it did. That's why I stopped you to ask if it was a real thing. It sounds like a band I might like. Yes, I didn't know that they had Irish bluegrass, but maybe they do.
Yeah, but we call it bluegrass.
Okay, all right.
Long S. So I went from there.
He said S, by the way, long S.
Long S.
He's saying S. I know it doesn't sound like S.
What does it sound like?
It sounds like a donkey, but he's saying S.
I'm saying donkey.
Okay.
Went from there onto a semi-national station. It was iRadio. Nothing to do with iHeart or any of those, none of those kind of stuff.
Boo.
Yeah, boo. Went on to iRadio, where I met a very good friend of mine, a guy called Fergal Darcy. And Fergal, he's still on the air.
It's a good name.
It is a great, but it's a really strong name in Ireland. Met him.
Is Fergal and Fergus kind of the?
I suppose they'd have origins with each other, possibly.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of Supernatural. So.
Oh, okay.
Crowley on Supernatural, his real name was Fergus.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
But gosh, excuse me.
he's getting choked up.
But yeah, no, I started working with a guy. He was on the afternoon show. It was drive time, and I had a lot of work to do with him. And he showed me. He brought me out of myself. He kind of I used to be in the studio. Hi, and you're listening to News Talk 98.9. This is the voice of the Carolinas, and this song is Jim with I Love Everybody Except My Grandmother. You know, and that's the kind of song.
What's wrong with your grandma?
Well, it was Jim's grandmother.
Okay, all right. Well, no one likes Jim's grandma.
No. Whereas when I started working with this guy, he was the driving force to get the real Odie to come out, to get like the little bit insane.
See, I completely get that, because in high school I would take a 0. I mean, I ain't talking in front of anybody, and then people cannot believe that I'm doing it, especially back home. Just people completely shocked, but they don't understand. Yeah, I know there are thousands and thousands and even more thousands of people listening to us right now, and we want more.
Yeah.
If you know somebody, tell them. But it's just me and another dude in a room talking. I mean, that's, and this show is the closest to me you ever will see.
It's the real, and that's the thing. Like, we're not coming in here either. I mean, you're listening to the way I talk, and this is the way I talk to my wife, to my colleagues, to people around me. I'm not coming in, and you're listening to News Talk 98.9 Word Voice of Carolina's coming up. We have a load of talk about stuff that you want to listen to.
Why do you sound like John Wayne right now? That's
because you can't get off your horse and drink your milk.
But milk's really important. It makes your bones grow stronger.
Makes your bones grow stronger. So then from there, I went into the national radio station. I'm not going to lie, I followed Fergal. He moved to national radio, and he said, come with me.
Hey, listen,
like, yeah.
You know, people talk about coattails and how I want to do it on my own. Forget 100%. That, man. I'm on the coattails. I mean,
I will ride them coattails. I will sit on them. I'll make you a little house while I'm there. You know, I'll cook you breakfast, and I'll give it to you, even if it is, pizza for breakfast. So I started working there, and then I moved to America. So I had to stop radio for a while because I was over here on a visa. I was working with one company, and when you're on a visa, you can only work with one company. You can't work with anything else. So anything else I was doing, I couldn't do it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I couldn't get paid to do it. I had to do everything.
Also, when you said that, the song "Breakfast in America" is stuck in my head, but that's fine.
Could you have kippers for breakfast?
No, because I don't know what a kipper is.
Mommy dear, mommy dear.
Yeah, but what's a kipper?
They gotta have them in Texas.
Do they?
Everyone's a millionaire.
Have you been to Texas?
Yes, I have.
Do they have kippers there?
Don't think so.
Okay, did you go there specifically looking for kippers?
No, because my wife's family live in Texas, and she said, come on, let's go to Texas.
Well, next time you go to Texas, ask for kippers. I don't know what a kipper is.
Kipper is a herring. It's a smoked herring.
Oh, okay.
It's a fish.
Okay, all right. Well,
what do you call a fish with no eyes?
I don't know.
These are the jokes, people.
Is that a dad joke?
That's a dad joke.
Is it? Okay, all right.
I think so.
I always need that pointed out to me.
Can you believe I do stand up?
I know. It's hard to believe. So Charlie posted a picture of scones.
Oh,
and I don't know if you saw my question.
Oh.
I said it looks like biscuits.
Yes.
And so Charlie came in.
I know exactly why you said that as well.
Because they look like biscuits.
They do not look like biscuits.
They look like biscuits.
They've got
raisins. Charlie came in, and you can have raisins in your biscuits.
No, you can't.
Yes, you absolutely can.
No.
You can have raisins in your biscuits. So Charlie came in and explained to me that has to do with density. I said, so if you took a scone and hit someone in the back of the head,
yes,
it would hurt as opposed to a fluffy biscuit.
Yeah,
because it's got some weight to it.
It has a bit of weight to it.
So Charlie has said that you wanted his recipe, and he also said that he's going to bring some in because Tim and I have never had scones before.
Oh, is he going? Oh.
So he's going to bring some in.
I'm definitely going to make sure I'm here whenever he brings in the scones.
Because from what at least the way Charlie talks, he can cook.
Well,
I mean, some people can talk about how good they cook, but then you have it and you're like, yeah, this is good. But though he's pretty good at painting a picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he makes the big bucks. So
the big bucks.
Yeah. So I'm guessing they'll probably taste pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting back to the other one about the interviews, your favorite interview, hands down, 100% John Cleese.
Really? Yeah. Okay. I thought you were going to go Peter Jackson there, but okay.
No, hands down. Peter Jackson was amazing. Like literally an amazing.
By the way, Peter
interview.
Jackson, that Peter Jackson,
yes,
that
Peter
the
Jackson.
Hobbit, Lord of the Rings,
like that Peter Jackson, like,
I believe he also did a King Kong remake.
He did. And he did.
It had Jack Black in it.
Yeah. And he did Brain Dead. And that's the thing, we were talking, like when it was the Hobbit stuff he was releasing at the time. And I started talking to him about his older stuff from back in New Zealand, because like I'm a really big fan of Peter Jackson. His Brain Dead stuff, where a kid's mom got bitten by a monkey, and she turned into a zombie. Like, it was one of the, I won't say it was one of the original zombie movies, but it is so gruesome.
Yeah, because it's not like Night of the Living Dead. That would be like the original.
No, yeah.
So
But it was up there. It was pretty good. But yeah, no, John
They're
Cleese.
coming to get you, Bob.
I'm not, yeah. When I did, sorry, yeah, the Night of the, when I did my John Cleese interview, it was one of those
tug
things.
of war with intestines, in black and white, but you could tell it was intestines.
Oh, you knew it was there.
Yeah, it's like, how'd they do that?
Do you reckon it was pig intestines?
I'm just wondering if it was in color, would it looked as good as it did in black and white?
Probably
Anyway,
not.
Not really a tangent. I just because we don't do that here.
We don't go on tangents, but we do sometimes. But yeah, no, the John Cleese thing. Yeah, I'm gonna admit I was starstruck, a little bit starstruck.
By the way, Dave says, on behalf of all white people, Alonzo does not speak for us. Raisins do not go in biscuits.
Thank you, Dave.
Raisins can be in biscuits. I didn't say that they go in. They can be. You can put all kinds of stuff in biscuits.
Yeah, but it's not.
But the best thing in a biscuit is gravy. I mean, that's just how that works.
I like biscuits and gravy.
Do they have biscuits and gravy in
Nope.
Ireland?
Biscuits are cookies.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Trey.
I've seen Doctor Who, so I already knew that.
And the TARDIS. Trey asks on the stream,
is fish sticks and custard actually good?
What?
It was a Doctor Who thing.
I didn't see
Matt
that.
Smith's Doctor Who. That's when he first. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
go
I
ahead.
didn't see that. Yeah, Trey is asking. So if you're on the stream, if you're on any of the streams, if you're on Lonzo's stream, if you're on the 98.9 stream or Facebook or any of the things, or OD_Fitzgerald 98.9 stream, you will see that Trey asked, does Odie eat pizza with a fork? So he doesn't get hot grease on.
Well, it is on the thing. So we went to get pizza at a different place because Red Robin now has Donato's Pizza, which is my favorite pizza from back in Ohio. So I was like, let's go over here. And then he asked for silverware, and I'm like, no.
Silverware.
See, does that sounds more like underwear that are silver, and I don't think that's what you mean.
Silver underwear.
So I'm like, okay, I get if it's thick pizza with a bunch of, it's basically cake.
As you know,
but this is thin pizza.
As you know, I'm from Europe. I'm one of the Europeans. And
so the Europeans, they actually, all of them use forks with pizza. Do they? Because you speak for the entire region.
I do, but no. When I go over to, I used to spend a lot of time on mainland Europe. Because I drive motorcycles, and yes, Ireland.
Well, did you call it a motorbike though?
I did.
Okay, not a motor. Why'd you change it to motorcycle?
Because I'm here in America.
Oh, and you're being Americanized.
I have been Americanized with a lot of stuff. I say y'all, and when I text groups.
By the way, I don't say y'all.
I say y'all.
Unless I'm doing a Southern accent, I'm not saying y'all.
But no, even when I do my Irish accent, like I will say y'all.
So y'all was not a part of your vernacular before you came over.
Ye is the vernacular.
Ye?
Ye is the plural for you. Ye. What are ye doing later on?
That's pirate, man. That's not. Do they really use ye?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or in Dublin, they go, you is.
Use?
You is. What are you doing? What are you doing in here? You shouldn't be in here talking to me.
See, that also sounds street to me. So I'm more familiar with that. All right. Dave wants to know what kind of motorcycles.
It is a BMW R1200 GS. Dave knows what it is.
Sounds big. All right, let's take a break. We'll continue with this. Throw in some other stuff. If you have any more questions for either Odie or myself, more for Odie though, because you guys know me.
You're important.
They know me though. They know me.
Yeah.
You're listening to and we want them to get to know you. You are listening.
Oh, that was loud.
To the, but I loved it. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse.
Bassy.
I'm gonna go with my Boot Barn voice.
Okay, go with the Boot Barn.
You're listening
to
the
Upstate
Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD,
the
voice of the Carolinas.
And we have boots.
Boots
in a barn.
Is that Buell?
I'm a Buell guy. Oh, yeah, no, I got a Buell. Yeah, no, that's 15 years. My BMW is 20 years old. I bought it in 2004. Well, it's 19 years old. You know what you can do with yourself?
Yeah. Well, you're talking about motorcycles. I get it. Okay.
I was
fine.
entertaining.
Were you? Okay. Yes,
masses.
this is yeah. So your mouth controls your hand.
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right.
No Europeans eat pizza with a fork. They all. Yes, we put eggs in it.
Okay.
We put.
I usually understand everything you say, but that the last part of that was just sounded very Muppet, and I have no idea what that was.
We put eggs in the middle of our pizza. It is awesome,
dude.
We make.
But by the way, I'm not opposed to that. As this is the first I've ever heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So how's the egg prepared?
It's not. You make your pizza.
Yeah.
Right. You make your base.
Yeah.
You put all your toppings onto it. Just before you put that bad boy into the oven, you crack an egg and you let it go right in the middle.
All right. So you're missing the point. So you don't. So the yolk is intact.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I like hamburgers with egg on it. So I mean, that's no.
Oh yeah, but it's baked. It's a baked egg.
I don't know if I've had a baked egg before.
Oh yeah.
I mean. Oh yeah. So when it comes, is the yolk runny when it comes out, or is it?
No, it's cooked.
It's okay.
Oh no, you might it might be a little bit runny.
Because I would rather it be runny. I guess that's.
John Cleese was amazing. I'm not going to lie. I teared up when I walked into the room. Like I met him face to face. I was like, I shook his hand. Yeah, oh man. That was it was a hard one to do because one of the reasons it was a hard one to do is I remember John Cleese in Monty Python. He was young. In Rat Race, he was young. And I interviewed him about it wasn't that long ago.
Monty Python? Never heard of it. I mean, why would anyone want to watch anything Monty Python? A movie, a series, anything. I mean,
yeah, egg is sunny side up.
By the way, can you see my shirt? I don't know if you can see my shirt.
I
don't know what movie this is from. It's just a rabbit. So I thought it was, yeah. I am not a knight that goes
knights who say "ne." We are now the knights who say "Icky, fatang, Hampington fish in front of me."
Morning, fight me. 'Tis but a flesh wound.
'Tis but a scratch. Scratch. I've had your arm off.
You know that it amazed me the effects on that. I mean, just
how do you use the one-legged guy?
I mean, how did they do? I mean, when both arms are cut off and stuff.
The arms were in, but they had a one-legged guy. They actually had a one-legged guy.
Did they have one-legged guy?
The thing is, and that was one of the things I talked to him about. And somebody was asking, where can we find John Lee's? It's not my property, so I can't. I don't have it. It was played on the radio. I asked him, and he said the guy that they use. So John Cleese is 6'2". Right? He's he's the same height as you.
Yeah.
And even though he's older, he's still tall. The guy they used was 5'7", and they had to put John Cleese's uniform because they had no money making the show. They had to put a costume on, and they had to roll it up. And
but still, it's amazing how they could do practical effects in that way and make it look so realistic.
And it did. It looked really real. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
Welcome back into Old Home Week as we talk about things that we used to do to get here. And Odie, even during the break, by the way, the show continues during breaks on stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and the XYO, because that's what we do. We were the first ones to do that in the building, and I'm going to continue to brag about that because it was done out of anger. Yeah. We started all this because they took away the third hour. It's like, okay, we'll just start going live on Facebook.
We're gonna hit the masses.
And then we started using OBS to do it that way, and people were asking, how are you doing this? How much does it cost? And I was like, it's free. And because we're gamers and we learn how to do stuff. And then they decided to go with StreamYard, which is a wonderful program. And we were the first ones to do that. And now when there's a problem with StreamYard, unfortunately, they ask me. And it's like,
you know it, man.
I'm not an expert, but if you say you did it first, then they expect you to be one. So you
on the Flaccid test line before we do anything else.
71307, by the way, text Flaccid to the 71307. Make sure it says Flaccid Flaccid.
No.
No. You do yours. I'm doing mine.
Flaccid.
I want that many C's in it.
Flaccid.
Or
that's a mix of
if
both
you
of
want to
them,
spell it with an S, then it's wrong, but you can do it anyway.
Or if you want to just write anything you want.
All right.
You know?
That's what they do on the text line.
They kind of do.
That's why you can't read half of them usually.
It says 433, Odie, where can I find the John Cleese interview? I'm sorry, it's not my property, so I can't. It's belonged to one of the horrible radio stations I used to work for, and they won't let me have any of that kind of stuff. It's not my property, it's theirs. Another guy says, I'm definitely going to start using ye instead of y'all from now on.
Yes, use ye. What up, ye?
What up, y'all? What have we got on the stream? We got something on the stream? Yeah, the egg on the pizza is sunny side up.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know, because that sounds really good to me. Now, now I'm gonna have to try that. I could just do that. I wonder if you can do that in a air fryer. If you're heating up your pizza and you just want to throw an egg in there,
I can't see why not.
I wonder what it would do.
Have you got an air fryer?
Yeah.
You know how you know if someone has an air fryer?
How?
To tell you.
What? Yeah, that's probably
kind of like how you know if someone
happens. But I didn't tell you. You asked me.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like if you have no.
I mean,
No. You segued it in. You were like, "Oh, I wonder if I could do it on the air fryer."
I don't recall what you're saying. Just because I said the air fryer I didn't say my air fryer. So maybe I'm just going to walk over to the neighbor's house and go, "I know you have an air fryer."
Because I know where you live, and for you to walk over to the neighbor's house, the longing for pizza with egg on it would be gone off you by the time you got there.
You got to work your way into that sort of thing. Yeah. At least I think. Trey had a good question earlier, if I can go back, but this thing's going crazy, so I got to find it. Okay, what is the most difficult part of your job? I will tell you the most difficult part of my job, there's two of them. One is keeping a host on time.
The other one is Odie.
And the other one is scheduling. But that's just me personally, because, just because you schedule someone doesn't mean they'll show up.
You see?
Yeah. I mean, there's that. And you know what happens when no one shows up? I have to show up. So that's he also says, are there any experiences that made you better because of it? All of them.
Every single one.
Yeah, because I am now able to talk in public if I have to. It still scares the crap out of me, but I can still do it. There's some things that I can do now that I could not do if I was not in radio. And the thing is, as a little kid, I had those little rectangle tape recorders.
Yeah.
Those things.
Yeah.
I would make up commercials, and fake stuff and do things all the time.
Or did you used to, you could do the high-speed dubbing when you were recording from one tape to another tape, and you could do it fast?
Not with mine, because I'm a bit older. So
okay,
so
you're really old.
That sounds advanced.
So old.
And Trey wants to know, what is your favorite part of your job? It's talking to you, Trey, and Dave and Chris and
Lisa
all you guys,
and Viper.
Yeah. Oh, I love talking to Lisa because that's my wife.
All the people over here on the text is talking to them, and it's pretty much the fact that the people that can hear our dulcet tones right now are hearing our dulcet tones right now, and we're trying our best to entertain them.
Yeah, I get told your voice is too dulcet, but if I talk high pitch, it's too much like.
What about if I talk like I'm after being kicked in a certain place and I'm right up here and it's ever so slightly high pitchy?
You sound like an Irish Chippendale, and I don't know.
An Irish chipmunk.
No, Chip and Dale. I wasn't talking about you. Can I mean, most Irish Chippendales may sound like that too. Do they have Chippendales in Ireland? I don't really want to know.
The Chippendales came to Ireland once, and people started to. This is how backwards Ireland was back in the 70s or the 80s and the 90s. People used to call into radio shows to give out about stuff like that. There is one very famous. I will try my hardest to find the interview. It is where a lady called into a radio show. She called into a guy, a very famous Irish presenter called Gay Byrne. He was the father of
Gay Byrne?
Gabriel Byrne.
No, okay, so not a Gay Byrne, because that's.
She called into him.
I just that's what it sounds like you said.
She called into him, and she was saying, she said, and we all knew him as Uncle Gay because he was the voice of Ireland. He really was.
So Gay, not Gabe.
Yeah, not Gabe.
Okay, all right.
As in the short of Gabriel, but Gay.
Uncle Gay. Okay, all right.
And she called into him and she said, I have an awful problem. My son was watching Dallas and she saw J.R. Ewing going to bed with just a pair of pajama bottoms on. And now he wants to go to bed with just a pair of pajama bottoms on. Now, I was talking to my priest about it and he said that it wasn't very good. and it wasn't a good Catholic thing to do to go to bed with just your pajama bottoms on. So she called in the national, like this guy, he was the only guy on the air in the time. This was the late 70s, early 90s. And she was saying her son didn't want to wear a pajama top going to bed, and should she be worried? And do you know what he said? Yes! He said, yes, you should be worried. He needs to be wearing his bedclothes going to bed. And I'm like, oh, my Lord, what is going on? Because I was listening to this. I was a little kid, and I've listened back to the interview so many times.
So
yes, Lisa, I'm 100%. I'm not even messing with you.
So what were you wearing at the time?
Oh, pajamas.
To go to bed.
Oh,
Okay,
I'd have pajamas
all right.
on.
So it's a strict thing. You had to wear pajamas.
I'd have the pajamas on. I'd have the pair of socks, a pair of thunder pants on as well.
Well, a pair of what?
Socks.
No, the other thing. Did you say thunder pants?
Yeah, underpants.
Oh, okay.
Boxers.
Okay,
or
no,
probably tidy whities because I was a kid.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta add a little color as you get older.
You do.
You do. It's the thing you got to do.
And yes, it was. And I there's a word I want to use, and I'm not sure if I can.
Yeah, well, don't then. How about that? How about don't then? There's an Irish thesaurus, and you probably can't even use that.
Yeah,
so
no, I can't.
No. Don't use that.
Oh no, yeah, no, I can't because I was going to say we were talking about it, but we weren't. We were talking about it off air. So I tell you what. During the next break, I'll ask you, is it okay to say it? If
all
it
right,
is,
well,
we'll
you know
talk
what? Let's
about
take that next break.
Okay.
All right. We're going to go to break and we will conference and we'll decide if it's not good enough for air. You could probably still say it on the stream. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Gay burn. Yeah. That's going to be stuck in my head from now on.
Kill your mic there for 1 second.
Oh, you mean me?
Yeah. We're going to go.
You know what? You could say prophylactive.
I was going to say that.
You can say prophylactive.
Prophylactives.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say the other word too. I just like prophylactive because it has a lot of syllables.
Mark says I'd be more concerned about a little kid watching Dallas. Mark, we had 2 channels. That's it. That's all
but
we
at
had.
the same time, the pajamas were not the problem on Dallas. I mean, JR was sleeping around with people and he got shot. And it just
who shot JR?
It was what's her name? I done forgot. I can see her in my head though.
Oh, I do it. I'll do it on air or off air.
Do what?
Talk about prophylactics.
Well, what are you going to say about it? Are you going to talk about your favorite brand?
They were banned.
Oh, okay.
Like up until 1987, prophylactics were banned in Ireland. You could not. The Catholic Church would not let you use them, so you couldn't do it. But then Virgin Media, you've heard of Richard Branson?
Yeah.
He had stores and he started selling them because he was English and he didn't have to go to the Irish culture. And there was uproar. Absolute. People were smuggling them from out of his store to sell them in rural Ireland. It was amazing.
Was that Gabriel Byrne's father?
Who Gabriel Byrne's father?
Gay Byrne.
No. Yes, no, Gabriel Byrne. Oh, yeah, I met him.
Really cool. Yeah, of course you did.
He was, so a girl I was seeing a long time ago, she was doing an acting class, so she was taking acting classes, and I used to go up and pick her up in the afternoons. One of the actors that was in talking to them was Gabriel Byrne, and as I was walking into the place, he was walking out of the place, and I done, one of those kind of, and he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? I shook his hand, and I said, man, I love your stuff, and he's like, yeah, cool. That was it.
Come on, tackle him.
Oh, tackle him. Oh, rip his helmet off.
Don't do that.
Do it. Go hard. Turn it into rugby. There was no rugby today. I was sad.
Okay, I'm sorry there was no rugby. But you couldn't rip a helmet off in rugby because
we don't wear helmets because we're hardy.
Yeah, that's right. Hardy. That's a good word.
We're a hardy bunch of boys.
But are you hale?
Hale?
Hale and hardy. Hale is in. I'm not talking about, and I'm also not talking about.
Biddle-doo, biddle-doo, biddle-doo.
That was like this is hail that falls down from the sky, not hellfire that comes up.
I
from
am
the
the
ground.
god of hellfire.
Yeah, it's hail. Like I think it's HALE. Hale and Hardy. Look up Hale and Hardy.
No, I don't want to.
Look it up.
Just gonna have to play Starfield all day tomorrow. Oh, okay. No F1. I used to Viper Dave. I used to like F1 a lot, and then Ayrton Senna died, and I kind of stopped watching it. 1994 was kind of my last season to watch Formula One. Got text in. I'll read it out when we come back. I would like to watch a rugby game. Next Saturday, Lisa, Ireland are playing Scotland in the Rugby World Cup. If you have Peacock, you can watch it on that. Oh, that's Dogma. Oh, no, it's not. It's Galaxy Quest.
How dare you be disappointed in Galaxy Quest?
No, I like Galaxy Quest. Random guy.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo and Odie here. Go ahead and do it. All right, it's a double noob kind of day, and I just want to. I got during the stream we were having a discussion, and I said Hale and Hardy, and Odie's acting like he never heard of that before.
I've never heard of Hale and Hardy.
And
fine.
I looked it up. It means healthy and strong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hale is HALE.
Bed is still up.
And I sounded Irish to me.
Hale and Hardy, no.
I mean, even when you say it, I'm not talking about Laurel and Hardy and
Bonzo,
Hale and Hardy.
Everything I say sounds Irish because, and here's the kicker, I'm Irish.
All right. So anyway, all right. Have you ever said a word in your mind and you think, okay, this had to originate in this place, and you can hear an accent in your mind when you say the word?
Go on. No, yeah. Well, yeah.
When I hear Hale
Hale
and Hardy, I hear an Irish accent. I do.
Yeah. Now, okay, right. You're right.
And
but
there's another thing now. Anytime I think of an Irish accent, now the name Odie goes with it. It's weird.
Irish
it's
Odie.
Very strange. It's very odd.
Ta.
All right. We're just like doing, just talking about some stuff. We can throw some other things in here though.
We got text line to the flaccid
or,
text
or
line.
we just won't, because text line
71307.
Yeah.
It's
fine.
This is a perfect segue.
I spent like 3 hours on this stuff today, but
it says you guys are so random. I like it.
Yes. Even whilst organized, we are definitely random. Because it's a flow thing. It's whatever it is what we are.
Yes,
and that's what the show has always been.
100%.
And sometimes to the point where I have to rein things in because it goes so random that I'm worried it will go into the abyss, and the abyss will come on the radio, and LexCorp will hear the abyss, and then I will be sent into the abyss, and no one wants to be in the abyss.
Into the abyss of despair and unpopulations.
Trey wants to know, what was the most outlandish thing you guys ever did for radio? What was your least favorite boo box punishment? Okay, boo box punishments are over on the Fan Upstate on the Rob Brown Show. Not sure why the Rob Brown Show, but they come up with that name. It's a good name, I suppose. The worst boo box was it wasn't the Clemson stuff. That was pretty bad, but I had done that before. The worst boo box thing was not even having to sing REO Speedwagon, which is one of the worst bands ever created by humankind or aliens or whatever. It was the man bun. That was the worst thing over there. I had to do a man bun, and that really bothered me. the entire time because but I lost a bet. I had to do it.
Yeah, you see, now that you've said that you've done a man bun, I'm a little bit.
But as a man, if you make a bet with another man,
Oh yeah, you got to follow.
You got to follow through.
You do. You got to follow through it.
If not, then there's a problem. And so I'm not someone who's going to go back on a bet. I made the bet. We pulled punishments out of a box,
Out of a hat.
It's one that I pulled. I sang REO Speedwagon. It was horrible, and people were trying to say it was good, and they were lying. It was bad because I hate them.
Which song did you sing?
I think it was "Take It on the Run." I think.
Oh yeah. Okay.
This is so bad. It was Rob had wanted me to sing a Boys to Men song, but he picked Into the Road, and it was just too hard for me to sing. And if I would have done it, I nearly lost my voice practicing it. It was like, yeah, I can't do that.
Take it on the run, baby. Sorry, it's just
The worst scoreboard punishment was pie to the face.
Oh, okay, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, no. So we did the spray whip topping pie. The thing is, mine set out long enough to where it became paste.
Oh no!
And when Matt hit me with it, he went full force and almost broke my nose.
Oh no! And
the video's still up on the Scoreboard's Facebook page. When I chase him, that's legitimate. Unfortunately, I was too slow, and he's like 50 pounds, so I couldn't catch him. If I could have caught him, I might have actually broken him. It hurt really bad, and that was the worst one.
Yeah.
I've had to wear a dress on air because I lost a bet. That was a LexCorp punishment.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He thought it was hilarious.
But see, that's the thing. I don't mind stuff like that. I never have. My wife, of course, she looks at stuff like that and she's like, "Oh, what am I married to?" But yeah, I don't.
It wasn't me, Chris.
I don't mind. What did Chris do?
He asked if I had to stand on water throw. No, that wasn't me. Most of our punishments.
I would have done that.
Most of our punishments that we come up with are I try not to put anybody in real danger.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah.
By the way, the Nerf ball does hurt. I know you guys don't think it does. There are parts of your body that should not take a dart to.
Normally you put your hands in front of them parts.
Well, you can't cover all three. So I'm talking about the chestial region.
Yeah. The boobulars, the man boobulars.
Yes. The sideways shot to one of those that hurts.
Oh, the nip shot.
Yes.
Shooting across.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chris Evans, the best I've ever seen in my.
Yeah.
He couldn't. The first time he got me, I flinched, and that was it. And he knew. So every time I lost a great deal back then.
Okay, so that's. Are you counting them as 2 or 1?
I'm counting them as 2. You got more than one, don't you?
Yeah.
Or do you only have one in Ireland? I don't know. Is that how that works? I don't think so.
What, 3 plums?
How many breaks do we have? Do we have 2 or 1?
We've got. Hang on.
Because if we have 2, we need to take a break.
So we're in this.
Oh, we got 1. So we got time.
Yeah, we've got the time.
No. You can't. Why would you not count it as 2?
Because it's the chesticular region.
Yeah, but there's still 2. There's 2 targets there. You don't need to be touching them. There's 2 targets. Okay. All right. I get it. It's audio and visual. I get that, but you can stop that. Okay.
Yeah, but I was holding them because I was afraid you were going to shoot me.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Well, you could. No.
I always have a Nerf gun at the ready.
Yes, but you've seen girls when they're on the beaches or
all right,
whatever.
We're not talking about girls.
But they put their hand across. You know that?
Yeah,
move?
all the way across. Yeah, but they're still covering 2. They're not covering 1.
And then they put their hand down.
Yes, right.
And you're covering. So that's covering everything. Now the neck shot is the one that I don't like.
But yeah, that and also forehead hurts. Because Tim caught me in the forehead, right in the middle of the forehead, and there's thin skin up there, and it's just caught me the wrong way, and it hurts. But the neck shots definitely hurt.
The neck shots do hurt.
I'm sorry about that. I was aiming for your neck, but
and you got me.
Yeah, I did because I'm that good. So I mean,
somebody got me in the plumular region as well.
Yeah, that I think might have been
you as well.
No. That might have been Pappy. I'm gonna go Pappy on that one. Pappy's got that kind of aim and that kind of desire to hit people in places where it hurts.
Just remember, I'm allowed to say that because I'm a doctor. So
yeah, well,
fine.
There's that. And he actually is a doctor.
One of the things that Trey has said, what's the most outlandish thing that you've ever done? We did one. We used to do the phony phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to call people. there's a model of Ford car in Ireland. And I think you might know it over here, the Ford Escort.
Yes.
We rang.
It's wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Never heard of that before.
Well, some people haven't heard of the Ford Escort.
Come on. Who
What?
has not heard of an Escort?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's another type of Escort.
Yes.
We rang one of them services looking to buy a 1986 Ford Escort.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. Yeah, that's
She got so mad because I was asking, had it a good set of headlights on it? You know, because you need to be able to see at night.
Absolutely.
You know, was there a big trunk?
Because you might need to store something.
Put your golf clubs into the trunk.
There you go.
How was the chassis?
I thought they call it the boot there.
We do, but I had already translated it for America.
Okay. All right.
You know, and then
wow, man.
Had she many miles on her? You know,
that's many.
Yeah. Was she old? How old was she?
Yeah, of course, because a later model.
Yeah.
To take a little more care.
Later model. Yeah. And then I said, well, how can I bring her for a test drive? And I got in so much trouble. Because there was a lot of words said, and it was before the watershed. And we did it live. So we didn't do any more of that stuff for about a year after that. But it was, you know what? It was so worth it. It was so worth it.
It's also there's an art form to being the straight man and that sort of thing.
I can do it.
Yeah, and so can I. And it's not, I mean, it's hard to get me to break, but I can break, but it's not very awesome.
It's like when I used to do the obituaries, when I used to work on local radio station, I used to have to do the obituaries and I would have to be straight faced. And of course, you have to remember I was like 22, 23 at the time, and there was lots of 22, 23-year-old guys working in the radio station, guys and girls. And all radio stations, all studios have big windows inside them that you can talk to the producer or whatever. And I was inside and I was like, the death has occurred of Jimmy McJimmenstein, and he's going to be reposing from St. Jimmy's Church, and Father Jimmy will be doing the eulogy. And I was trying to be as somber as possible.
That's very realistic from what we understand how Ireland works.
Yeah.
Probably everyone's named Jimmy. So, I mean, yeah.
Jimmy or Paddy.
Yeah.
And there were two people outside the window. I'm just going to say it. They got naked.
Okay.
They just did it, and they just took their clothes off, and I had to stay straight faced, and I couldn't turn because the microphone was facing the window, and I was just kind of like, the death has occurred of Mary, and I had to keep going, and I just.
So you got to see the floor model of the Ford Escort.
I got to see the model. No, it was from the waist up because the windows were high, so I didn't see. But yes, and we used to do a lot of stuff like that all of the time, and it was great fun. I really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm.
Sounds very adult.
Well, it wasn't. Kind of was.
Filmish, adult filmish.
No, they didn't do that. There was no hugging.
Okay, all right. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD. We're actually going to do the lightning round. It'll be the only segment that we actually do.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if we can have like a cup sculpted. I don't think anyone would want to wear an actual cup like on the outside. We could probably get a jock strap. Yeah, I would do it too. But I don't think Matthew would do it. I don't think Tim would do it either. Cameron probably would do it. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I need to take out that rejoin.
Yes. I enjoyed and didn't enjoy when the victor of our picks on the scoreboard, we had to wash his car in the parking lot.
In a bikini?
No. No, we didn't have to do it. Dude, you go some places I ain't going. We also had to buy him a meal and serve it with high-pitched English accents.
Hello, Governor.
Exactly. It was Monty Python. It was. And one of us who's on here sometimes, Zach, could not do it. He just couldn't do an English accent no matter what. It was so bad, except for Mustang Burger. That's all I could do. There's a Mustang Burger. The Quaker,
Mustang Burger?
The Quaker place down there I keep talking about. They did have a burger called a Mustang Burger. Okay. And that's what we got for. Here's your Mustang Burger. Except it was it was worse than that. It was pretty bad. Thank you, Chris. It was so bad that we're just like, could you do that again?
So bad, it was good.
Yes.
Why did they put that into 3 and not 2?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but I normally put it into 2. Oh, I've lost it now.
It's there, Summers. So I know this isn't our normal show, but I found it interesting because I mean you learn some things, and we have a bigger audience now with other states and things like that.
Welcome from all the other states.
Yeah, those other states may not be like on the stream, but they could be. I mean,
Ireland is.
Ireland is.
Yeah,
it's not a state though. That's a country, right?
it's in a bit of a state.
It's also an island.
Is it?
Is it an island country?
Yeah.
Is it considered an island country? Or a country island?
Island country.
Okay.
Islands in the country. That is what we are. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Do they have Dolly Parton in Ireland?
Yeah, I don't know why. Oh no, she's in America. She's in Dollywood. She's been to Ireland, I think. Two things really strike me about Dolly Parton. She's pretty awesome. Like she really is.
Yeah, her voice and her songwriting.
And her charity.
Yeah. She is very charitable.
And
did you know Medieval Times is hers?
Medieval Times.
It is.
I really want to go to that.
Oh, it's great. There's one in Myrtle Beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime we go there, we go to that.
See, here's the thing.
It's like Cable Guy.
Yeah.
It really
I can't eat chicken off the bone. I can't. I don't know why. My body will not let me.
It's like a half.
Yes, I know that.
You can't.
And it's there, and I know they serve that, but
it's weird. They serve you a bunch of other stuff too. Though.
Yeah, well, I'll eat the other stuff.
Good. Some ribs, a half a thing of garlic bread, some broth.
I really want to go.
Broth. It's just last time we went, the guy walked up in the waiting area and was like, "Why are you here? Aren't you supposed to be back there?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's taking a little time off."
Taking a bit, strolling around.
And then he was like. He said, if you,
it's on
something about jumping the fence. And I'm like, what if I do? He's like, yeah, you don't want to do that.
Lightning can only strike twice so many times.
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry,
All right, time for lightning round where we will actually do some of the show prep that I did. So it makes me feel a little bit better about myself.
Show prep?
Although I have enjoyed the show. It's just the only thing we get to. It's so cool. So we talked about pop figures. You know what pop figures are?
No.
Right? Those little things that I have in my office.
Oh, the bobbleheads.
Yeah, they're not bobbleheads though, because they don't bobble.
Well, they look like them.
They're Funko Pops.
Okay.
So you can make one of you, and they've talked about that for a while. Finally, it popped up on my feed, and I made one of me today. I didn't buy it though, because it cost $38.
So
yeah, but I'll do it my next payday. Okay. So anyway, you go through, you pick the hair, you can pick the clothes, and then you pick 2 accessories. So for my accessories, I have a gaming controller and a lightsaber. And and then you put your name, and your name's on the box. So the name on the box is Lilonzo. And
so you're just gonna have to give me that link.
All you gotta do is go to Funko Pop, and you can see it.
I will do that. Can you imagine? It's so bad having a real life size version of me. Can you imagine having oh my god!
You see on the box?
Yes. That. I'm getting one. I'm going to get one.
So so we're gonna have to put together the Upstate Pulse Funko Pops. We talked about it forever. I mean, it's a little generic to a degree, but they can only do so much. But hey, that looks like a younger me, but it's still me.
It's you.
So I mean, and the name on the box says it's me. So there we go. I mean, Sir Michael Gambon has passed away. The guy who played Dumbledore in the majority of the movies after Harris died. Why do I forget his first name?
Richard Harris.
Sir Richard Harris. Yep. Yes. Yeah. The Sirs. Does it matter? Does knighthood matter in I'm gonna take that as a no. Okay. Well, you don't know until you ask. Merriam-Webster has added some words to its dictionary.
Webster's dictionary.
Including simp.
You're a simp.
Simp. So simp is is someone,
Simple-minded
usually a
individual.
man, who shows excessive concern, attention, or deference toward a romantic partner or love interest.
Oh,
A verb is to show excessive devotion to or longing for someone or something. So I could like simp after Funko Pops, especially the one that looks like me. The next word that they added was mid, and
mid?
mid
MID?
as in this show is so mid. It's not. This show is excellent, but there are shows out there that are so
The
mid.
show on radio.
So mid just means meh.
Meh.
Yeah. And
So hold on, no. Right. They made a word for a word that already exists.
well, it's been made popular by a certain wrestler, and I think that's part of it.
Okay.
But it actually came out in like the 16th century or something like that.
I know, I was there.
It's it's the definition is neither very good nor very bad.
Meh.
It's a meh. It's mid.
Meh.
The next one is Doom Scroll,
Doom scroll.
which I've never heard of before until I read it.
Scroll of doom.
It's to spend excessive time online scrolling through news or other content that makes one feel sad, anxious, or angry. Some people go looking for that. That's
Some
called
people
doom scrolling.
do.
Yeah, it's I don't get it.
No, I
It's
don't
just,
understand.
look at the
that.
happy stuff. Why you got to dwell? Oh, can you believe this happened? Yeah,
Yeah.
but quit looking at all the articles about it. And finally, cromulent.
Cromulet. I have a lovely bunch of cromulets.
Here they are standing in a row. The word
Big
was
ones,
introduced.
small ones,
it's-
big as your head.
Cromulent means acceptable.
I have a lovely bunch of acceptables.
Yo, man, that's acceptable.
I mean,
that's cromulent.
was
Yo,
it-
man, your show was so cromulent.
Was it cromulent in the 80s?
The word was introduced by Lisa Simpson in the episode Lisa the Iconoclast,
Okay.
February 18th, 1996. So, like a lot of things, so some writer wrote something for Simpsons, and now it's turned into a word that I've never heard anyone use before.
No, that's because they're time travelers, and cromulent was probably written by me in 10 years' time.
Man, I hope so. I hope you made
Yeah.
some money off that 10 years from now.
Doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, Loki season 2 comes out next week, October 5th. Did you watch Loki season 1?
I watched 95% of Loki season 1.
You didn't make it till the end?
No,
Dude.
we had a
That's-
kid.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
that's when Kang is introduced in like the last couple episodes.
Oh,
Yeah, so you really need to, I mean, which led into Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania. So you knew who that dude was because you saw him in Loki.
well, I guess I'm going to have to go back into it then.
But if you know anything about Kang, there are lots of them.
Yes, there are.
So,
He's like a
and-
watcher, isn't
yeah,
he?
no, because the Watcher doesn't do anything. Kang wants to conquer. So there's that.
Divide and conquer?
There are a lot of Kangs.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of Kangs. Have you seen the Argyle trailer?
No.
You should watch it. It's a spy comedy thriller starring Superman, or the guy who used to be
Okay.
Superman. But the internet is very upset because they made his hair like this tall.
Oh, Standy Uppy.
Yeah, and people are hating it because
Oh, okay.
you know they're simping after him, and you know, and they don't like it when it's not cromulent.
It's not,
It's not cromulent.
cromulent.
All right, and finally, Toys R Us is coming back. This time, not as like a little segment in like Kohl's or something. Toys R Us is the classic toy chain is opening 24 new brick and mortar flagship stores. Additionally, new locations at airports and on cruise ships are currently slated to open in time for the holiday season. Bring back Toys R Us. I'm looking. Oh yeah, Britney Spears danced with knives. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see her dance with
I
knives?
did.
Yeah.
Very little clothes on.
So
Tension.
so anyway, don't dance with knives.
Don't dance with knives.
Do not, fake or otherwise, the knives. Don't dance with
No.
those. Never do that.
The knives.
All right. Thank you for listening to the Upstate Pulse.
Yeah.
Next week there'll be other people on the show too.
Hopefully.
Yeah, there will be.
Okay.
And we'll have fun and it'll be chaotic because that's what we do here. Everyone have a great weekend.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Do we do
Chaos.
chaos?
Chaos. We do. Have a great weekend and tune in 6 to 10 for the Rob Brown Show
Oh, early mornings.
this Monday. Bye, everybody. Go. Where you going?
Oh, yeah, we're still here. I forgot that.
By the way,
Hi.
I like Starfield, but I'm still playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. Problem with Starfield is it's so big and I'm having some problems. having to farm one planet to get aluminum to go back to my other planet. And it's so big that you can take your time, and I will get really into it eventually.
Making my way downtown, taking my time, playing Starfield on the computer. Diddly diddly do, do diddly 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 do.
I can't wait for you guys to hear an instrument that Odie can play. But you'll have to wait till the Upstate Pulse annual Christmas karaoke special. Hey, say goodbye, Odie.
Goodbye, Odie.
Goodbye, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.